Hello, TD superheroes. My name is Alejandro Perez, and I am your sidekick. Okay, let's take this controller one step further. We're going to make a box around it so that we can move it, because right now the user cannot easily move this controller. So we're going to make a box around it, the character name. Later on, when we start creating the UI, we'll be able to customize that, but for right now we're just going to put character name. And then we will, I think, be ready to integrate this with the actual character after that. All right, so we have the general idea for creating a square right here. Let us put that here. Let's clear this scene here. We don't have a control name. What we're going to be naming it right now is character name, but we'll set that up as a variable in a future lesson. So when we create this, we have a box here, but we want to make sure that it goes around our controls here. So let's take a look at setting this up. We are going to need to adjust these values. So we have X and Y, which are the values that we're changing here. So we went up, let's say 2.5, and actually this is starting on the X, so it's at 1 point, yeah, we'll still do 2.5, 2.5 and 2.5. So that's not far enough. Let's try 2.75. Run it again. So that brings us right to the edge. So let's make it 3. And that way it's a whole number and it'll be easier to work with. And clear the scene. That looks great. And then we know that the last point needs to be exactly the same. So let's set that up now. And what that does for us is basically connect the shape. There we go. So the one before that is going to be at a height of 3 and -3. So that should put this one over here. Let's try that again. That looks good. And it looks like once we do that, we can see that we're cutting off the top of the letters. So let's make this a tiny bit higher. So I'm going to say 3.3. Okay. Clear the scene here. That is good. And I just need to put 0.3 over here. Check it one more time. There we go. Okay, now we can bring these points down. And the lowest one is like at 7.5. Let's try 8. So the first value, we'll keep it at 3, but then we'll make this -8. Let's put -8.5. Again, clear the scene first. Run this. It's not quite far enough down. So let's put this at -9. That looks like it's going to be good. So that means that this one is going to be -3 and -9. Okay, so we have this control here. So we're going to want to be able to select this and then move the controller using this box. So it's the transformer for the character name, or the character. So it's going to be character name _ CTRL _ transform. Let me name it something like that. And let's make this a little bit wider, move this over here so that we can see the code a little bit better. Okay, so now we want a text on top, and we have something like that already. So this is going to be it right here, and we're going to move it as well. I mean, since this is a action that we're repeating over and over, we could break it up into its own function, but I'm just going to steal the code for now. Okay, so we don't have a control name. We might want to just start setting this up with the variable character name, so char name. So remove this here, character name plus that, and then here character name is just going to be character name for right now. Okay, and then we're going to say character name, and then the ty 3.3, 3 in the negative x, and then we'll leave those scale attributes right now, and then template it. That's fine. Okay, let's see if this works. Boom. Here we go. We have the character name right on top. I think let's remove these scale options. Do that and run this. So when we did that, oh, we're templating the square. We don't want to template the square. I copied too much code. Okay. There we go. So we have the controller, and we have the character name. We have it name tag. So, and we have it square. So what we're going to say is mc.parent. There we go. I think the child goes first and then the parent. We'll see right now. So the child is going to be name tag, and the parent's going to be square. Okay, do all that, and there we go. We have it right. We did want a template, but we wanted to template the name tag. Let's see. Here we are doing the template, but for the square, let's just change that for name tag. Okay, clear the scene. Okay, so now if we select this, it is not working. Did we get an error? Cannot concatenate a list on line 51. This is name tag 0, and this will be name tag 02, I believe. There we go. Let's run this again. Yay, no errors. So we can select this and we can move that. Now we want a way to be able to move all of these controls as well when we move this. So what we're going to do is modify some of this. So at the end, we end up with this group, which is the control name main group, which is this. So we want to return that. I'm going to say return grp. And then say lbrow is equal to that. And then our brow is equal to that. li is equal to this. ri is equal to that. L nose is equal to that. Oops. Lowercase l. R nose is equal to that. And mouth is equal to that. So what this is doing, basically, it's returning the group. So when we run this function, it has a return. It tells us what the group name is. So that way we can add that as things that we can parent to the square. So we'll say L brow, R brow, L I, R I, L nose, R nose, and mouth. Okay, so let's clear the scene and see if this is working. We have an error, invalid syntax, because we're missing a comma. Boom. There we go. So we should be able to move that. We got everything selected. When I run it, the only thing I'm not super fond of is that it's all selected. So what we can do is let's add another line here. mc.select cl equals true, which just clears the selection. So I can run that and it is created here. Then I can select it and move it wherever I need it to be. Typically you just want to leave it here, but just for this one, I want to move it all the way up here so that way it's next to the head, and that way when we're working in future lessons we can see that it is connected here to the head. Okay, so let's take a look at doing that. We have the position now, so basically going to want it at 20 and 170. That will be fine for our character control right here. So after everything's, say this is, we just made square, mc.set adder square plus dot tx, comma, the tx is going to be 20, and mc.set adder square plus dot ty is going to be at 170. Okay, let us clear this and run this code, and in theory we should end it up right next to the character's head. So that is exactly what we want. We want the character control to be right there. I think I'm going to want a little bit of space here, so I'm just going to make a tiny bit of an adjustment on the moving of the text curves here. On the TY, let's do it 3.5. So we can clear that there, run it. There we go, it's right above it. It's expanding on it, but like if the character name was like Jimmy, like character name is long. So if we did something different, we can see that it would be an appropriate size. So I am happy with that. We have the controller ready to be set up for this particular character. Again, that XY value for the controller, if we're doing it for automated rigs, we'll probably put it at the origin, so 000. But just for this tutorial, so that way it makes it a little bit easier, we're popping it up on the character's head over here. We will default it to that position. And maybe later on we can set variables for this as well. I'm going to change this to CGI nerd. There you go. So we have that, we have the control. Let's go ahead and look at the code really quick. Might be a little small for you guys to see, but if you put it on the highest res, you probably can read all of this. Just in case you want to see all the code at the same time, you can freeze frame it here. And in the next lesson, we'll go ahead and take this. Let me save this right now. We're going to take this code and incorporate it into our script here where we're importing the blend shapes and start setting it up so that way we can actually control the face with this controller that we've created. All right, see you guys in the next video. Bye.